Let me start off by saying I love this side of TikTok. I do. It's cozy. It's warm here. I smell an incense, maybe some shea butter. I hear D'Angelo lady playing in the background. I like it here. However, I did get some information from my cousin, okay? And my cousin told me she was over there on the other side, okay, the Targaryen side, and they over there divorcing their husbands. Now, I know this don't have nothing to do with me. It don't have nothing to do with you. But y'all, it's a but here. I am a sucker for talking about and discussing the intersectionality between race and gender. I'm sorry. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, well, I didn't go look, because anytime I see a Targaryen come down, not interested. Show less like this on all platforms, truly. However, I was curious to know, like, what is this from? It's the fact that, their husbands are out here voting in this type of way. They feel like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm leaving my husband. I found out who he voted for or whatever. And I think it's so interesting that Targaryen women are now divesting and decentering. Because you have to understand that a huge part of conservatism and that whole right wing, this whole movement, okay, is truly vested on the nuclear family, the husband, the wife, the working father, the stay-at-home mother, the trad wife, and all of this and all of that. This is a huge cornerstone of their whole movement, all right? And I'm not even saying that this is who they are and they're, cooking like the girl Nara. Basically, there's levels, okay? There's levels and there's spectrums, okay? Much like the liberals, whatever the case, you could be an extreme, you could be somewhere in between. So I'm like, oh my God, they're divorcing their husbands. Surely they knew that their husbands were bigoted. Surely they knew that their husbands were who they were. And it just reminded me of a time when, like, the conservative party really heavily depended on the fact that women could not vote, or then that they would align with their husbands. And so in this new age, in this new era, in this new wake, women of all walks are not going for that shit. I mean, there was a point where if you mouthed off at your husband, okay, and you had too much of an opinion, girl, you're getting lobotomized. Something's wrong with her, doc. Out goes her brain. And so now the girlies are like, girl, no, I don't like how you're doing this, and I am going to no longer align myself with you to spite myself. It's just something. It's very much something, like Young Miami said, there's something. And when we're specifically talking about white women, okay, there is something about race that is always priority. And what this circumstance that we find ourselves in now, if they really are over there divorcing their husbands, like my cousin said it was, then we are seeing for one of the first times where the gender comes before the race. That's interesting, because it's always, I'm a white woman. Okay, I'm a real boy. I'm a white woman. It's never, I'm a woman that's white. That's not a rhetoric that we're used to hearing or even seeing out in action. I'd be interested. I could be reaching, but I think it's something there.